Here is the revolutionary Morris Mini Minor. The engine is mounted across the car so that it can take 4 people in comfort with all their luggage. Look how much room there is. You can put things under the back seat, in the door compartments, and in the large trunk. See how easy the Morris Mini Minor is to park. It reaches 70 miles an hour, and it does 50 miles to the gallon. 4-wheel independent suspension gives big car smoothness. The quality first Morris Mini Minor is the perfect family car.
Well, it was a classic mini Mustang. This guy had all the horsepower. I had a little bit handling. He was getting kind of squirrely, losing his tires, missed the shift.
Yeah, and it was probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 laps, and every time I look in my mirror, he'd be just a little bit closer and a little bit closer. And then we came through for the white flag, and I was just like, Matt, don't make another mistake, just hold it together through the end. And I did slow down a little bit, and you caught up to me finally and had a nice pass in turn 11. It was great.
And then the muscle man here out dragged me to the finish line. But I should have, in the future, I'm going to play dirty, and I'm going to block him.
The whole idea of this event for us started about 3 years ago when I was approached by one of the organizers of Velocity to put on a mini race. And my reaction was that I've done a mini versus Mustang race in Europe. It's a very common thing to have minis and Mustangs racing together. So I instead suggested that we do a mini versus Mustang. And that is how this weekend is the 3rd weekend of it. The first event 2 years ago was won by a Mini. Last year it was won by a Mustang. So this will be the culmination of the best of 3. It will be a very watched race. It was the most popular thing in the last 2 years from a spectator standpoint. They just absolutely loved it. It's a nighttime race. The visuals with all the cars with lights on them racing against each other is just spectacular. The event will basically be a endurance race, and as such, at some point during the race, we have to change drivers. And that's going to be up to us to decide when to change. We're given a 5-minute window to change. We have to be in the pits for 5 minutes during a change. Some of the cars will have to refuel, some of them won't. The change is very critical time-wise. That 5 minutes in the pits can often determine, if you miss that window, you can often lose the race. Jeff O'Neill's going to drive one of the cars. He did a test drive last year in one of the minis and was just absolutely enthralled by it. So I put him in a car with Andrew Fox.
So for the Mini Mustang race, we're running a different configuration to everyone else. So we go straight down the back, we miss out the big curve, and then there's a chicane. So you're hard on the brakes, and it's just picking that spot. Because if you go too early, then people outbrake you. If you go too late, then it's ugly. So I had a few of both.
Here at Sonoma Raceway, running with Velocity Invitational for their 4th year, and I'm running in the Miniverse Mustang Enduro Challenge, which is a 50-minute enduro. This will be my 3rd year running it now. I'm running a 1966 Shelby GT350. It was a ex-Shelby board member's car back in the late 60s and 70s. He raced it in SCCA. Sold it to another gentleman who continued to race it through the 1990s or so, and then I purchased it about 4 years ago.
We have 4 father and son teams driving.
Okay, so this is Gear and Oliver Ramleth, father-son. Both of them are super quick and everything else that they do. So who's going first and what's your strategy?
I'm going to be going first, and we're going to try to make it a good, clean race, fast times, come in, quick, clean pit stop, Papa's going to be hopping in, and
So speed and elbow. All right, what do you think of the Mini? How are you enjoying it?
I like it. I've only been out one time, or 2 times on Thursday, but it's really a lot of
How
fun.
would you describe a Mini to someone who's never driven a Mini?
Well, it's you're being pulled around by a strong horse in the front. It's just a blast. It's really a lot of fun to drive.
The Hagen boys, Tyler and Dave. So you guys have been to Le Mans. You drive all sorts of exotic stuff. What do you think of the Minis?
It's hard to have more fun than racing with your son in a Mini Cooper at Sears Point. I mean, it's about as good as it gets.
I mean, front-wheel drive car, going up against giants, how can you go wrong?
Well, you guys are going to have a lot of fun tonight. Your car looks like it's running finally, right?
I think so. All right, we're hoping for a few good laps.
All right, good. Well, good luck tonight, you guys.
Thank you, Andrew.
He grew up, his dad is a Mini fanatic.
Yeah.
So what does it mean to be racing a Mini?
Yeah.
Kind of for the first time, right?
Yeah, so my dad's first car in 1968 was a Mini. He was 18 years old. And then a couple of years ago, he bought the exact same car.
And my daughter is driving for the first time in a while. She retired a couple of years ago and is coming back for this event. And that's going to be an all-girls team, so that'll be great.
My name's Anita Weymouth. My name is Julie Racine, and we're driving my 1960 Morris Cooper. And this is Penelope Upton, and she is our crew chief.
You excited? How are they going to do?
Good.
They could do good? How good?
Really good.
Okay, and how can you tell? Is it because they come in with big smiles?
Yesterday, they took 1 minute and 51 seconds to change places.
Wow, that's fast.
Just gonna go shake it down a little bit. Had some issues this morning, and we want to make sure it's all good, and maybe do a couple of laps where we see what we can do, and just make sure that for quality tomorrow it's all set.
This will be the first nighttime. It'll be good. See, lots of lights.
First time in a front-wheel drive car, and yeah, I mean, at first you're kind of uncomfortable at the wheel because it's so different, but once you get used to it and you get to a certain pace, it's just a race car. So
Yeah, just a race
it was a
car,
blast.
exactly right, yeah.
It was a blast.
Pretty amazing, first time ever. So can't complain. Great little car.
Well, I did a rookie move. I went out there with the handbrake on, so that was kind of like not feeling right. The back end was kicking out. The brakes felt like they were going away. I'm like, man, I know these tires aren't that bad.
Okay, good.
He's good, yeah. I got to work out the braking point for the chicane.
This is the one I normally drive, so this is a good car.
Get a little careful the first few laps on the brakes. But it actually has pretty good brakes.
Oh, it's very good brakes.
Yeah, it was great.
This is a great event. When I first heard of Miniverse Mustang, I was wondering what that was all going to be about, and thinking the cars had no business being on track together from a speed and competitiveness perspective. But it's a blast. They all run, relatively similar times, but it's a lot different car. We've got high horsepower, terrible steering, terrible brakes, and they've got low horsepower but great handling cars. And so it's a lot of fun out there. I think my only strategy is going to be to figure out how I can block the swarm of minis coming into corners.
So we're P7. That wasn't good.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
My strategy is foolproof.
let Andrew go do his thing. That's my entire strategy. I think I'm doing the first stint.
Yeah.
I'm doing the first stint, so my goal is just to give him a car and try to keep it up in the top 10 or so, and then Andrew will do the rest from there.
What else are you driving this weekend?
I'm driving a 1976 Penske Formula One car, which is considerably easier to drive than the Mini. So here, wait. So what's your strategy?
To get in the car and not embarrass you. How about that? No, it's just to see where we are and bring it home in one piece. We're not as heroic this year as we have been in the past. That has not been.
What are we going to do? Block them? What?
They've showed up with a bunch more rubber on their tires and a bunch more driving. They look really strong this year. Really good.
Yeah, they're taking it personal this year, so that's all right. We'll bring it to them. We'll see what happens. We got a big group here. If we all drive, 5 abreast, they're not getting by us. So, thank you.
All right, awesome.
It was running really well. However, coming out of 7, the throttle just went flat to the floor. I coasted. I was hoping I could coast all the way into the pit, but ended up about, 50 yards too short, unfortunately. We got back, and this is it. It's a 59-cent throttle cable, but somehow, now here's the, I'm not going to speculate here, but it's a very clean split. I almost wonder whether that, I might have to go and just see if the Mustang guys' wire snippers match this. Who knows what's going on? I don't want to start any rumors, but.
worked out pretty good. We got a good run in the second half. Got some nice clean track to put some clean laps down without having a lot of traffic and whatnot. No, it was tough. It was a long, hard race. The car actually started to run a little warm and was losing a little bit of power, so I was actually pretty happy to bring it home. So
well, you had almost a full straightaway length on the second place car.
Yeah,
there was no way he could catch it.
Yeah, I was actually watching that, believe it or not, as I was coming around turn 11. I knew he was the car behind me, and I could see him going into 9A.
It was tough. I did best I could in the car, but I knew I had to give it up early because he's a better driver than I am, and therefore he took it home, and that was the important step.
It was tough for me to come in.
So tell me about
I was going to punt the Mini. My first time, I was going to punt the Mini.
Wait a minute, this is a video that's going to go live.
Oh, it is? Oh, I know. I'm just thinking that, but no, really wasn't going to do that. Hey, good job. That was a blast. So awesome. I totally enjoyed it.
We lost one Mustang.
We need more Mustangs.
Yes, need
a
more
couple more,
Mustangs.
not many. Because
we need legit Mustangs.
Yeah.
There you go. Put it in neutral, Julie. Neutral. We came in 12. We moved up 10 spots.
I was fighting that last Mustang for everything I had, and when we went by, I saw a flag being waved like crazy, and I thought it was the checkered, and so I backed off. And at that point, about halfway around, I realized, oh my gosh, I made a huge mistake. But anyway, we were on a podium shot, and he got around me just second to last lap. So tomorrow we probably start from last, and it'll be fun. I just keep blowing shit up, and here we are again. It's okay, it was worth it. It was going to be a great lap. It was going to be a magnificent lap. That's our D-Bird down there. After the black flag, it was my second lap. Just as I exiting 11, the valve and the piston hit each other, dropped the valve, and it blew up. We're still P6, well, P7, sorry. We're still P7, so it's not terrible.
Okay, do you have the needle nose? What'd you do with the... Time for the engine replacement. We'll be ready in a couple hours here.
We'll be ready in about half an hour.
Yeah.
Bill Greenman is the combination of the mini genius and a kind of saint. Tell me about how it's been this weekend and keeping the fleet going.
Well, we've started off a little bit of a rough weekend. We've had 2 motors expire. Well, 1 motor, 1 transmission. We replaced both those power units, and we've had a couple electrical problems, but all of them are running now. We're ready to go.
That's awesome. So do you love the chaos, or are you barely surviving it?
Honestly, I love it.
Well, Bill's one of the best guys to work with, and you're a saint, and so thank you for doing this stuff and keeping us out there.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Mike is absolutely a wheelman in this car. It's phenomenal to follow him around. Last year, I don't know if you remember, but you and I went side by side out of the corkscrew and down 9 and 10 at Laguna, and I think I was about 6 inches away from you when I realized this feels like I'm swimming with a whale. Does he know I'm there? But how do you do it? How do you manage all this stuff?
I'll tell you what, the Mustangs and Minis is a great event. O'Neill puts on a great show here. I love it. It's my 3rd one, and car set up, know the track, been here, been racing here for years and years and years, and it's just a fun time. We got a newbie here. It's fast. We got a Le Mans car here that went to. It's just a fun time, and we really enjoy it. Look forward to it.
The car is a historic vehicle. It was in Sebring in 1971 and 72 as a FIA registered car. And it was owned by one of the most famous R&D managers at Ford. He developed the Mangusta from Di Tommaso. He then owned this car and was dominant with this car throughout the Midwest, Black Hawk Farms and others, and made the car famous. So that's the history on the car. We try to be a great steward of the car and run it 10/10 every time we take it out.
It looks so cool from behind. I couldn't stand it.
We are ready to take on the world. Minis are going to conquer the world and conquer a few Mustangs. We've got a few tricks up our sleeve, but we can't talk about them yet.
So we broke a fan belt yesterday, and so we didn't get to finish. Thought the car was fine today, and on the pace lap, just tons of blue smoke coming out. Tailpipe from the engine compartment, the interior was filled with blue smoke. I just had to retire, so I can't.
Martin's pace is faster than, should be faster than Don, and they're out, and hopefully that blue Mustang, the co-driver, we'll see how he does, but we should be up to P4, and if we can catch them on pace,
There's a chance, huh?
there's a chance.
Yeah.
Hope, keep hope. As long as there's life, there's hope, right?
Yeah, yeah.
As long as there's spark, there's hope.
We worked hard for second place. We worked really hard.
Excellent, excellent. Well done, well done.
Thank you, thank you.
Champagne everywhere. Number one, baby. Number one, baby.
11th place. Yeah, we beat Krista. Yeah. Well, I don't know the official, but that's what the tower said. You drove well. I know. Hey, I waited for the halfway mark though, which is good. Woo!
You were kicking ass out there. You got us to 11th, and I just kept us there, I hope. So we started out on Friday in 22nd place. We ended up today in 11th. And we had the best pit stop accuracy of the must be there for 5 minutes, no sooner. And we went out at 5:01. 5 minutes and 1 second, 0.7. So we nailed it.
Power. Girl power.
Wow. Yes. Don't feel like Minute Man. Yeah. Ooh,
Yeah, that is more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
That's great.
Oh my
It's
God.
so much fun out there.
It's a fun adventure. It's a 1 hour enduro. From a spectator standpoint, everybody loves it. This has become the thing for people to want to run. Everybody that gets in one of these minis, and it's one of my satisfactions in running these cars, is the smiles of the drivers when they get out of the cars.